This program is brought to you by the Media Liberty Alliance Foundation in cooperation with OBBM Network TV, bringing citizen-led, creative local media to the forefront of local communities to foster a greater understanding of constitutional liberty and appreciation of what makes us truly free, starting with you and me.
The Zach Ratliff Show is sponsored by Mortgage Financial in Texarkana, Exceed Health Clinic, Elmwood Custom Goods, and Church on the Rock, Texarkana. That's churchontherock.org. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. That way you're updated each time fresh content comes out. And thank you for being part of the Zach Ratliff Show. Hello, and welcome to the Zach Ratliff Show. I'm Zach. This is Dixie. Hey,
Hi
Dixie.
there. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
You own Exceed Health Clinic here in
Yes.
Texarkana.
Yes.
And one of our sponsors, so thank you for that.
Okay.
We got you named at the beginning. But you said something the other day at one of the meetings we were at, and then talking about the ice and all that stuff we just came through about having preparedness kits.
Yes.
And so I thought, oh, this could be an interesting show because, of course, I watch shows like where they survive out in the wilderness or whatever. And then, but isn't that exactly that? But, it's nothing for me or my family to be out on a tractor somewhere and to cut a hand, or like I was telling you, my dad cut his finger when he was 2 days from civilization on a canoe trip out in the wilderness, and he had to hope he saved his finger till he got home. And there's just different things that, I've seen a guy get bucked off a horse on a trail and riding up the mountain in Colorado before. So just in my life, we do a lot of things, and so I'm just always in weird situations. And blessed by God that generally it works out for us. But man, there are a lot of times if I would have had a kit to help do something, it would have made a big difference. So it just kind of triggered something with me, and then I was like, even with the power, and I was like, well, I had plenty of water, and I had plenty of this, and if the power went out, I had a gas, cooking, but I didn't, I don't really have a first aid kit or anything else. So anyway, I just wanted you to kind of go into that. Like, what do you mean when you say a preparedness kit?
Well, there's different levels of a preparedness kit.
Okay.
Now, keep in mind, my background was EMT paramedic, trauma nurse, and I do a bit of prepping.
Okay.
And family practice. So I probably have more than most people.
Right.
Which is fine.
Okay.
Because for one thing, you want to start small.
Right.
And your skill level needs to be equivalent to what you have to work with.
Right.
So I'm going to show you some different options and some things to think about. You may not want to start it right now, but let it roll around in your brain.
Okay. Yeah, so let's kind of get into that. And, and I think everybody has a different level of prepper they are, right? And I'm not far down that. I've got some rice and beans dry stored and, just in case. And other than that, you just got some bottled water around and I'm ready. Now, there's a story of a guy up in Arkansas, I remember that, had dug out into a mountain, had a bunker, and when he sold his property, they had to take out like 12 semi-loads of material. So I'm definitely not on that end of the spectrum.
Yeah, me neither. I'm not on that end.
But however, we should be ready for power outages or if we're traveling or different things, right?
Oh, absolutely. I also used to work with the disaster people here in Bowie County.
Okay.
That planned disasters, did disaster drills and stuff. So that's probably where I responded to several tornadoes.
Okay.
When the shuttle went down over East Texas back in whatever that was, I responded for that.
Okay.
So I have a lot of that background.
Okay.
So that's kind of where I live.
Okay, well, let's get into it. What are some of these kits? What are we preparing for? And just kind of walk us through it, if you will. It's off camera, but she'll drag them onto the camera as we go. So
Well,
what all
show-
do we
show
have?
and tell.
Yeah, a little show and tell. What all do we have over here?
Well, first off, everybody needs to understand, start small. And for grab and goes, I have two. This is the one I grabbed.
So kind of like a go bag.
Yeah, kind of like a go bag. Back in the old days on ambulance, we had what we call jump kits. They were usually tackle boxes. This was back in the 70s and 80s. Okay. And that's what we kept up. We would get out of the vehicle with our kit that had our supplies we were going to use down on our knees at the scene.
Right.
And those have kind of passed away to some degree. And so the soft ones, you know, like backpacks that everybody has, you can change into everything. This is the one I keep hanging in the entry hall because neighbors will knock on the door. So-and-so's not feeling good. His blood pressure's too high. Can you come check him? Whatever. Right. And so this is the one I grab for that. Got blood pressure cuff, a thermometer. Everybody please have a thermometer.
Right. At my house, we have a couple of them. We like to see which, like, when they're different, we're like, hey, why are these temperatures different? You know,
well, they're all calibrated a little bit. A little bit doesn't make any difference. And then try and sort your stuff into baggies. One thing that keeps it dry if you have to spill it out. Always have some gloves. They don't have to be fancy. And just so you know, get gloves bigger than what you require.
Absolutely.
Because when you're sweating and it's in the heat, you know, in July, you're not going to get those gloves on.
And the only reason I know this is because we wear gloves when we clean fish and deer.
Yes.
And so I've learned to,
size up.
I size up on gloves because it's just horrible. Then you're pulling them off and it hadn't done any good by the time you're, in my case, with fish and deer, you know, they're just covered in blood anyway. And then you're like, why do I even wear these gloves? And yeah.
So anyway, always go bigger than you can. And everybody always says, well, tell me about tourniquets. Well, you know, there's all different kinds of tourniquets. But again, that's also a skill set. Some are complicated, some are simple. I like the simple ones.
So tell us what a tourniquet is. Everybody's heard the term, but I'm not sure everybody knows what that means.
A tourniquet is something you're going to put on an extremity to decrease and potentially stop blood flow if you need to.
So a lot of times in a movie, they'll take a belt off and wrap it around their leg.
A belt will work too.
Yeah. But, so that's what we're talking about.
Yes, a belt will work just fine. Scissors, in case you have to cut off jeans or pants. And of course, in the worst case, boots are tough to cut off, just so you know.
Right. Also, you shouldn't fish in boots if you're in a boat because they'll fill up with water and drown you.
Yes, that is not probably a good idea. No. So, assortment of dressings, simple stuff that you normally use, you know, when the kids fall off their bicycle, Band-Aids, always have some gauze, just basic dressings there. And we'll go into more dressings. Dressings are a big thing. Now, that I'm old school, I still know how to use a real old-fashioned blood pressure cuff instead of with electronic ones. And mine, just so you know, it's Hello Kitty for a reason.
Okay.
Because every time I would stop by, I keep one of these in my car. I would stop at an accident, and the crews would get there, and we're, you know, getting people on stretchers and transported. My blood pressure cuff would disappear because it was always a standard blue or black.
Oh, gotcha.
I got tired of losing my blood pressure cuffs. Nobody takes Hello Kitty.
Yeah, they know that that's not
That
theirs.
is not theirs.
You know, it's amazing in my life and then people that I'm just around. I know of, because when you think about all these things, like I said, we do a lot of stuff, just my family in general, but you know, I know of people being saved from drowning in lakes. I know of people being saved from cars that are catching on fire. Just all these things, and people that are either me or I'm related to. You know, I've seen these situations play out multiple times in my life where you're saving someone's life. And it would have been nice to have a bag like this. So all this is really hitting home because I'm like, well, yeah, I've seen a reason for all of these things.
Yeah, and there, you can improvise a lot, too, once you realize what you need to be doing. What else have I got here? Stethoscope, of course, because I'm also doing, you know, home visit. I have portable ENT for looking at ears and throat. What else? Oh, an N95 mask, just in case.
Right.
More dressings. I love Neosporin, just so you know.
Okay.
Neosporin alcohol pads, sanitize for your hands. Well, a lot of these, keep these at home. Flu and COVID kits. You can buy them at Walmart.
Flu COVID test.
They're like $15 or less.
You just keep that in your bag just in case?
Yeah, if somebody calls me over and somebody's sick, I can go ahead and test them right then. And you can test your own self.
Right.
And if you know your doctor and say, hey, I'm home, I tested positive for flu, you want to send me something. So, and let me see. Because the day and times that we live in now, I also carry, and you can buy this over the counter, it's Narcan.
Okay.
You never know when that one's going to walk in and be overdosing.
I mean, and you're right. In the fentanyl days that we're in or whatever, I mean, Narcan, that's not a bad deal. I guess go ahead and explain to everybody what Narcan would be used for those that don't know.
That would be for an overdose type situation.
And what's that do? Just jumps their adrenaline system?
Yeah,
basically?
it kicks it up. And sometimes they get angry after you give it to them. Oh,
really?
Yeah. So, yeah. So it's handy to have inside. You just squirt it up their nose,
Okay. And then it's going to take care of the rest if it can.
hopefully. And there's 2 doses usually in each of those kits.
Okay. That's good to know.
Sometimes it takes 2.
I've never used I've never had to use Narcan on anybody.
Yeah, it's like I said, they usually wake up angry.
They should just be glad they woke up.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, because that's what it's stopping, right? It's just shocking them back to life, basically.
Yes.
Okay.
In a way, shocks their system. And so that's my first grabbing care.
That's what you're taking. If I'm your neighbor and I'm like, hey, my daughter's sick, can you come check it out?
That's
taking
what
that.
I'm taking over to the house.
Okay.
Sometimes they call me to remove some stitches, and I have an not emergency, but just suture removal and stuff kit that I'll throw in there too.
Okay.
So several years ago, a very smart surgeon, actually in Mount Pleasant, he did a class.
Uh-huh.
He was an avid hunter, a little bit of a prepper too. And he did a class, and what he talked about in the class was, we all shoot. This is in Texas, most of us do. And we go to the range. He says, we realized something had happened when he was at the range with somebody was injured, and nobody had any supplies.
Right.
So he did a class on what is essentially a range bag.
Okay.
A range bag medical kit. And it was really great. I was glad he thought of it because,
Well, that's interesting because most of us, I think, I don't know this, carry, if you have a bag to carry into the hotel or wherever you're staying. So you could make that bag that you're already carrying, you could make it a range bag for just the situation, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Use whatever you have at home. So it was a very good class. It was a little bit more advanced training, but some things you can think about. One, it's got your standard CPR mask in it.
Uh-huh.
If you know CPR, I recommend everybody learn some CPR.
Yeah, it's not just doing what they do on TV.
It's not, it's not just that. These are what's very similar, and I do have some actual Israeli trauma dressings for stopping the bleed.
Okay.
These are really great to have. They stay sealed, will last a long time. Gauze for stuffing, just blotting up blood. This is actually a chest seal kit.
Oh.
That you apply if somebody has an open sucking chest wound.
Okay.
So,
where it's sucking in?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's handy to have. This is one of the fancy tourniquets, but there's a bit of a learning curve using this because it's got this piece.
Oh, right.
And so it's something you need to practice with before you ever use it. It's not, you have to know how to use it.
Right, okay.
Or you can just throw that piece away. Another CPR mask. Let me see what else have I got here.
So, and all this, like we're saying, is for your range bag.
This would be for a range bag. So the guys going to the range need to think about it and just,
just more gauze, yeah.
more gauze type stuff.
And I know a lot of you are listening to this, but she's laying it out on the desk as we're talking about it. But, I mean, this is a good idea because...
And most of this stuff you can get on Amazon. There's companies that make emergency supplies. You don't necessarily have to have anything special.
I've been to the shooting range a whole lot in my life. And
Do you carry a bag?
like this? No. But, luckily, I think everybody I've ever been with, we're just safety precautions and doing what we're supposed to do. And so there's never been an issue. But I can see how, it isn't. I was also raised in a world, Dixie, where there's no such thing as an accident. If something happens, it's because somebody didn't do what they were supposed to do somewhere on the line. And so that being said, you still need that bag because if you're not prepared, then it's your fault, right?
Well, let me tell you what happens with me. When my kids were little and we were going to take the training wheels off their bikes, I went ahead and got my splints and gauze and stuff out.
Oh, did you?
I was prepared. And as long as I prepared for it, nothing happened.
Right. As soon as you didn't, though.
So I just go ahead and get it out.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, so what else we have? We have a whole setup over here.
Yeah, I have all kind of stuff.
So these are going to be more home kits here.
And these are more home kits. And when I first started getting my home kits organized, I was using boxes.
Okay.
But then we had a leak in the closet. My boxes got wet.
Okay.
So I discovered these. They're actually called document containers. I get them at Sam's.
Oh, really? Because I was thinking they were the clear plastic tackle boxes that you could get at stackable tackle boxes that you get at Academy.
Those are handy too.
Okay.
But they call these document boxes, but they fit and they stack, and I label them, so it makes it easy for me.
So they just look like the tackle boxes for those of you that know that, but they're just clear plastic boxes that the lid binds down to the top of them.
Yes, and so stuff won't get wet. I can grab whichever specific one I want. Like this one's more bleeding control. And
so do you keep this in your car?
oh no, these are at the house.
Okay.
But they're all in a closet. You need stuff where you can access it. You don't hide it, behind the suitcases and the stuff in the back of the closet.
So readily available. all this
Readily
needs to be.
available. I have shelves in a closet, and I just stack them because they stack so neatly.
Okay.
So again, more bleed stop. And this comes in rolled gauze that's impregnated with a chemical that will help stop bleeding.
Oh, okay.
I love this stuff.
Yeah.
And you can also get it in powder form. You can get it for like gunshot wounds or punctures. It kind of comes in a little injectable thing with crystals in it that you put in it to stop the bleed.
Now, Dixie, are we just suggesting that everybody just go do all their own medical treatments?
No. You need to have training for some advanced stuff, but for basic dressings and stuff to have at your home, you need to read up, take a class. I recommend everybody take a CPR class. And do what is within your skill set.
Right.
And if you don't know and you want to advance, there's classes out there.
I probably need to redo my CPR. It's been some years.
Yeah. So that's that.
So that was a bleeding box. So what's this next box?
Well, remember, I'm a trauma nurse. I have lots of bleeding boxes.
Okay.
Everybody bleeds.
It's true.
So more of the same thing. These are the actual things. You can get these online. Cellulose, they are a little more expensive. I'm thinking these are 20 or 30
But if if you go on hunting trips or even family vacations to the beach or whatever, these are all things that you could have with you so that when something happens, you're prepared. You don't have to freak out. You've got everything you need.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, yeah.
So, and then there's the routine medicines. You have no idea how often people will come to the clinic and tell me they had temperature, but they didn't have anything to take their temperature with, a working thermometer, and Tylenol or ibuprofen. These are basic things you need to have.
They don't have any
at home.
Tylenol or ibuprofen in the house?
Many times.
Really?
Yes, and the other thing is they'll bring the kid in. The kid's got 103 temp, and they didn't want to give him anything because they wanted me to see the temp. Just take the temp, have a number, give the kids something for the temp, bring them.
Right, and don't let it just keep going.
Yes.
What is there a temperature like, man, you should be worried right here?
After 102, go ahead and start giving them something to bring the temp down. I prefer most of the time to let them have a little temperature because that's what their body is acting on. It's defending itself, and we want it to do that. So let it attack whatever's going on.
See, a couple of years ago, my daughter had 104 fever, and I'm like, okay.
That's too high.
This is a problem. And then, because we'd watched it at 102, 102, then it jumped to 103. We still did Tylenol, and then it went up again to 104. And I'm like, okay, now it's time to consult someone that knows. And we wound up having to go to a clinic and let them deal with it because at 104 and it stayed. But of course they dropped the temperature down, had her take her clothes off, just put on a gown, put fans on her. All of a sudden it got real fast.
Yeah, don't stick them in a tub full of ice water. It could throw them into seizures. Too fast of a drop.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And so then of course ran IV and just got her regulated, and of course she felt much better by the time you pump her full of liquids and
yes.
and all that. But I mean, so there is a number there that, hey, you need to go deal with this.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So some of the other medicines that I recommend you keep at home, diarrhea, especially in a crisis, say a power outage and the water system is down and the water potentially is contaminated. Diarrhea will kill you. Enough diarrhea.
Yeah, it's true.
There's medicine you can get over the counter for diarrhea. I recommend you go pick some up, Imodium AD.
Okay.
Keep it at home. Allergy medicine like Benadryl
Okay.
is good for many things. Allergic reactions is one of them.
Right. Just eat a normal Benadryl if you're having if you suspect you're having an allergic reaction.
Yes, start with that. And,
now, what about if it's somebody?
Follow the directions on the box.
What if it's somebody like me who I've never been allergic to anything in my life, and all of a sudden I feel like I am, or someone's like, "Hey, you're having an allergic reaction." What do I do?
Start with a Benadryl. And if you feel like you're having any respiratory issues, head on somewhere.
Okay.
If you're just breaking out in a rash, I would watch it.
Right.
But any respiratory.
Because I wouldn't know what to think if someone's like, "Hey, you're having an allergic reaction." I'd be like, "I don't think so," because of course I'm 40 now, and I've never been allergic to anything ever.
After 30, our body betrays us and
Okay.
things change.
So that's good to know.
Yes, it betrays us in many ways. Yeah, some people who never had allergies will develop allergies later on. It's just
That has happened to me. I never had allergies until the last 2 years.
Yes.
So, which I hate it.
It is not fair. Neosporin, great antibiotic ointment. I love this.
My grandpa always said Preparation H was a good substitute for Neosporin. Is that true?
I have not substituted it for Neosporin. It is a vasoconstrictor. It's also the same ingredient that's in some decongestants that you take by pill.
Vasorestrictor, it shrinks the veins?
Shrinks them. Also related to the APRN that goes up your nose. And some of the ladies I've heard have used it around their eyes to, work on wrinkles. So it is a multi-purpose ointment, yes.
Okay, there you go.
Plain old aspirin, of course, it has value. So some of the other medicines I really like, cortisone cream and Benadryl cream too, not just the pills.
Of course, my daughter has eczema, so we keep cortisone cream readily available.
Yes, and sometimes when it's really bad, I'll have my patients mix cortisone cream half and half with Benadryl cream.
Okay.
And that will calm down the inflammation and help a lot of time too. Because
that's good to know.
And another medicine that works real nice when people get poison ivy. I'll recommend they take Benadryl because that's a histamine 1 blocker.
Right.
And Zantac.
Really?
And people go, oh, that's for acid reflux. Well, it's also a histamine 2 blocker, so we're going to block it 2 ways. The histamine 1
So
and
if you get poison ivy, Zantac
and Benadryl. And also go get a product. Like I said, I used to do trauma and disaster response, and I learned this from the forestry department. I was doing an event with them, and they would know about poison ivy.
Right.
They recommended Technu. It's Tecnu. You can get it at Walmart, Walgreens, wherever you shop. Wash with Technu. Poison ivy oil is vicious stuff.
Okay.
And a tiny little microdot will spread a long way. Dawn detergent will not break it down. Wash with Technu. It's kind of an oily substance. It doesn't suds up like soap, but you only have to wash with it once.
And that takes care of it.
And it takes care of it.
That's good to know.
I even put it on a rag and wipe down the tools outside, the rake or whatever, to get that oil off because it spreads like crazy. Even put some on a rag and wipe down the dog.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. I guess I've never thought about that. I mean, I have had poison ivy before.
It can be vicious.
Yeah, that's not fun at all. Well, so all of these things, and then you also said there was a prescription box that you suggest having.
There's 2 companies that make these. One's called the Wellness Company. You can find them online, and the other one is Jase Medical. It's JASE. And you go online. They will send you whatever kit you want. If you want it for COVID, general travel, something specific, antibiotics and treatments. And they will send it to you. They will refill it if you use any of it at a discounted price, I think most of them. And also include the material, say, if you have this, and this symptom, take this medicine.
Right.
And I think they also have hotlines or whatever you can call as well. I'm not sure about that, but I think they do. So that's a good resource for some people. It's depending on how far you want to go. I think some of those kits start like at $299.
But still, if you're in need of certain medicines, it's better to have those on hand. Or when ice hits, luckily we just had it here for a few days, but nobody can get to the pharmacy. The trucks can't get in. You can't get it delivered. I mean,
That's another thing we're going to talk about. I tell all my patients, you come see me 2 weeks before you run out of medicine.
Okay.
I could be sick. I could be out of town. I could be on vacation.
Right.
The pharmacies could have a shortage. Have at least 2 weeks of your medicine at home.
Oh, that's good to know.
And keep that handy and ready to go in your to-go bag. Just kind of rotate it out, check it every few months, and rotate your pills so they don't get old. And you want that. And you also want medications, and I'm not sure I brought it in, or maybe I did. Oh, yeah. Pet meds.
Pet meds.
We all have pets. You can use some of the same basic stuff pets can take, Benadryl and Dramamine, just so you know.
Really?
For the most part, yes. And
my dog would look at me like I was nuts.
They can actually take it. And some pets are on certain medicines. You want, bandages, Neosporin and stuff for your pets too. So don't forget your pets.
Okay. Well, let's see. And then you had some splints.
Oh, yes. People ask me, I don't know what to splint with. In a pinch, I've used a magazine. Southern Living works fine. But these are SAM splints. They've been around a long time.
Spell that.
SAM.
Okay, I was just making sure.
And they're very flexible. They roll out, they take up little space, you form it to whatever body part you're going to apply it to, and then you use some of the gauze bandage to put on there, and if you have too much, you cut that part off.
Right.
With the scissors that you carry. So they come in all sizes and shapes. They also come in this handy little kit that most people can put in their kit, just a splint kit. Mm-hmm. And these are in all shapes. This one will roll out to fit a full leg.
And you can just cut it with your scissors.
Yeah, if you want to, or just turn up the foot and cut it down. And they even have small ones, different sizes down to finger splints.
Okay. Well, that's awesome. So, I mean, I can see a need for all of these things and have been in situations where a lot of it's been needed or know somebody that has for sure.
So those are some of my favorite little splints. And they're not crazy expensive at all. So they're not bad.
Well, that's awesome. Well, and I'm sure there's a disclaimer you want to say about using all these medicines.
Oh, absolutely. Only use what you're comfortable with, and and what you can, is basic level.
Right.
Any advanced skills or any other medications, you need to talk with your doctor.
Yeah. So there's that. Make sure you do that.
Yes.
But here's how you can be prepared to use all this. And I think coming off of ice or whatever, it's good to know. But if you're traveling and look, we see people in car wrecks that you want to help. And look, also, if you're going to help somebody, don't just go be in the way. If you don't offer anything, call 911 from your phone and get out of the way. But I mean, there are times when you have to pull over and help somebody, or you like say, see somebody drowning at the lake and you save them, or whatever, where it's good to have all of these things. Right?
All right.
I mean,
I usually carry a fire extinguisher in the car.
Oh, I don't do that.
I drove up on a wreck one time that was on fire. I did not have one, so that will never happen again. Okay. That was very frustrating.
Was it able to, did it put it out or just knock it down so you get everybody out of the car?
It was not a good outcome.
Okay, yeah. Heard.
Yes. So that's why there's going to be one in my car.
Right.
The other thing, if you don't like the fire extinguishers, and they do tend to roll around, that you can use in some situations, are fire blankets. Have you ever used one of those?
Never used a fire blanket.
Oh, I love fire blankets. If you've ever had a fire in your kitchen, have you ever had a fire in your kitchen?
Nope.
And you use a fire extinguisher, well, I'll tell you what happens. You use a fire extinguisher, it's messy and stuff splatters everywhere. You have more cleanup and a little more damage from using one of the fire extinguisher just blowing everything around.
Oh, okay.
But if you have a pan on fire and you have a fire blanket, you just throw it over and it smothers it out.
It just puts it out?
Yes. Much less mess.
Okay.
Works on a grill.
Okay. Oh. Now, I've got a funny grill story that we went to for one of my buddies' bachelor parties. We were going to grill, let the grill out, and we'd rented a cabin up on the Buffalo River.
Bachelor parties set the whole stage, right?
Right, yeah, absolutely. But had a cabin up on the Buffalo River, and I didn't check, none of us did, for the grease clean out to see if it was full, and it was full. Well, then by the time this thing catches on fire, then the grill catches on fire. Well, we're able to reach in there and pull the propane bottle off of it, but the grill's still burning. So we just have to pick it up, and we were able to pick it up and get it off the porch and let it go out, and then hook the propane back up and went back to grilling. But definitely could have a fire blanket. Might have made a lot of sense right there. Just laid it on it because by the time you opened it, that fire came out and it was just on. There was no stopping it. But it's kind of a bad situation looking back at it. We handled it well.
Fire blankets are cheap.
Okay, well that's good. Anything else we need to be prepared for or do in preparation?
During this latest ice storm, listening to my staff, there were some concerns. One of them had a CPAP machine. So they were worried about what was going to happen when they didn't have power. And there's all kind of portable generators out there, small and big.
Right.
And just like for a CPAP machine, if you have one of those, I'm not promoting any companies, but this is one I've looked at and used before. It's called Jackery.
Okay.
And you can also even hook it up to solar.
Okay.
And it will power them to get them through the night because some people got to have that CPAP machine.
Right.
The other thing is, especially I see it probably more in kids when they get sick, and we've got cold weather and kids are sick. There's power outages. Some of the kids use updraft machines.
Okay.
For their breathing treatments. Again, some form of backup power for that. There's also, and I have one here because I'm not sure which bag it's in. Maybe in this one. It's called a mesh one. For giving breathing treatments. And most people are not aware of these. And I think I have it in one of my kits. It's very quiet, it's very small, and you just charge it up. And I'm
Okay.
thinking I have one.
Well, I even have
it's-
like
but it's-
a jump box in my truck that I got for Christmas a few years ago that I keep charged, to jump people off. But also
Yes, those are
but,
handy.
yeah, but it's got outlets on it so I can plug.
You could plug something in.
And have done it when we lost power at the house. I brought it in and was able to keep my phone charged because I didn't have my phone charged either. But I'm like, you know what? I'll just go get that jump box, charge my phone, and everything will be fine.
How'd that work?
Went great. No, not a problem. And actually slept throughout the night with my phone charging, plugged into that jump box. Woke up the next morning, my alarm went off on time because I had my phone plugged in, but still didn't have any power in the house. Was able to go on about my day. So there you go. Okay, so Dixie from Exceed Health Clinic here in
Okay.
Texarkana.
All right.
How do people get a hold of you?
You can call the clinic, 903-306-0001. Exceed Health
903-306-0001.
Clinic.
01. Okay. And all your staff, they can do whatever. And then you guys offer some other interesting things up at the health clinic somebody might not have heard of, right?
I've probably heard of it. I have X-ray.
Yeah.
I have a great radiology
Well, I
tech.
was talking about your plans, your membership.
Oh, the membership plans. Yes. I really like direct primary care.
Right.
Insurance companies really aren't helping a lot of people.
Right.
And so we offer membership plans for children and families, ages 2 and up.
Okay. So what's that look like just on kind of general?
Just for a child, it's $50, I think. And then
A month?
there's another $60 and a $70 plan, depending on what you're looking at. And then there's a family plan, 2 adults, 2 children.
So what's
we have
included
multiple
in
plans.
that? What's included in your family plan?
In the family plan, 2 adults, 2 children, however many visits a month you need.
Okay.
You get discounted price for labs and x-rays.
Okay. Well, there you go. Well, and like I said, in a
And
world.
after hours access.
Okay. So in a world where insurance isn't really doing what everybody expected to do, it's nice to have somebody that cares enough to say, hey, look, I think there's a way around this.
Oh, yeah. And my members, if they call, they're going to see me the same day they call, if not the next morning. So we're
that's
going to
awesome.
get them in. Now, if you call it, 4:59, you might have to wait till tomorrow.
Right. Depending on the severity.
Depending on the severity, you're right. But I don't have any that do that.
Right.
And so they're all pretty reliable people.
Okay. Well, all right, Dixie. Well, thank you for being here. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we're going to get out of here. All right, everybody. I hope God blesses you all today, and I hope you have a great day.